Hey, welcome to another Ramble, and I gotta say happy rooonfest to whoever is attending or whoever has watched it. Which, interesting thing, I'm recording this like a few days before, so I actually have no idea at the time of the recording what rooonfest is gonna bring, what things are gonna... I know I should probably like record this probably the day I upload them, so I can actually like be a bit more on topic rather than just always being a few days late. And when it comes to RuneScape 3 especially, it's like I'm always like an entire week late almost. So yeah, I hope cool things have arrived, and I will definitely talk about all of the reveals, both RuneScape 3 and Old School RuneScape, in the next week. So next Saturday, I will talk about all of those, and I'm sure that with RuneFest, that's probably going to be like a long fucking ramble. But today, and because, you know, RuneFest is just around the corner, we don't really have a lot to talk about, but I mostly want to touch on to like small topics, mostly in RuneScape 3, Double XP, and Old School, with the little update that they actually done this week, despite RuneFest being around the corner. Yeah, so for RuneScape 3, the Double XP, look, I've never been a huge fan of these events, but something that I was actually kind of surprised with this year's Double XP, especially when it came to this one, was that they didn't seem to advertise it as much. Like, at least I didn't notice a lot of advertisements for it, because usually RuneScape 3 is super big into, you know, Double XP weekend, and it's super big into, you know, like Double XP is coming, and Double XP is like this huge event, and it feels that at least the past like year, and especially most recently with this one, like I logged into the game and they were like Double XP, and I'm like, wait, Double XP is happening? What the fuck? Like, I keep up with mostly, I mean, I keep up with both games, but, you know, I mostly play RuneScape 3, especially because of no bank, so I was like, wait, Double XP is happening? I didn't even know it was happening, like, what is even going on? So I find it very interesting that they don't seem to be bothered, pretty much, I guess, advertising Double XP that much anymore, and it does feel that culturally Double XP does not have as much of a hold as it maybe had like 3-4 years ago. I think it's a sign of cultures changing slowly, and especially cultures changing towards a more, we enjoy the content in the game rather than everything being about XP. So I think in that regard, Jagex is probably doing a good job at, you know, pushing people more to do skills because the activities are fun and because you have more rewards rather than just achieving XP rates. So, because really, like, I was very surprised, because usually I always see, like, you know, social media posts, and I always see, like, oh, you know, like, fucking Double XP is arriving in, like, 2 weeks, in a week, in a few days, you know, like, I always see, like, huge advertisement for it, and now I haven't. I mean, I guess maybe, again, RuneFest probably had an impact in the advertisement, where it was mostly like RuneFest focused rather than Double XP. But yeah, I didn't actually see that much Double XP advertisement this time around, and I kind of liked it, because it was like a little surprise, because again, like, I don't think Double XP is that healthy for the game, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I get it, people love it and whatnot, but I think that Double XP is pretty much a band-aid fix to a much larger issue, the larger issue of skilling just not being that rewarding to do in general, compared to Old School RuneScape, where, look, PVM in Old School RuneScape is huge, it's the best moneymaker per hour by far, it allows you to afford most shit in game, but people still do it because you have rewards from skilling that you cannot get from PVM, right? And you have a lot of different activities for the skills, and you have a lot of like little different like completionist things and different rewards, especially cosmetic rewards and everything, they just cannot buy, they cannot get from PVM. And I think that in RuneScape 3 there's a huge lack of that. There's a huge lack of little skilling add-ons and stuff like that that you just don't get. Like, you know, Old School has forestry, for example, mining has the gloves, and then you have the ring, and then you have the prospector, and then you have the gilded thing for the prospector, and that Motherlode mine also has its own little upgrades that you need to unlock, and then Volcanic mine has the pickaxe that you also need to unlock from it, you know, and then the blast mine allows you to get rune ore 10 levels earlier, and then, you know, like, you have all of these little different things that go into skills, and in RuneScape 3 it feels like you just don't really have. So to me, Double XP Weekend is more like still focused. I think Double XP Weekend is the sort of band-aid fix that is still in the game that shouldn't be around anymore, because it's like, it's still very focused on the reward is you getting like the total level, the high level, you know, rather than being the actual reward for doing the activity, the doing the skill, be it, you know, GP per hour, or, you know, the amount of GP you can get, or just some unique rewards, be it cosmetic, helping you in the skill, or, you know, just unlocking some shortcut or whatever in the game, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that RuneScape 3 just has such a huge lack of that, because for years, a lot of skilling especially was used for sort of an arbitrary unlock for certain activities in the game, especially certain quests and certain bosses, when in reality, and that's why like a lot of people just push for it, especially when it comes to double XP, because hey, I don't want to train this skill because it's not fun, it's not rewarding, I just want to get it done, so I unlock the things that I actually want to do, rather than the skill actually being good to do. Which is just, you know, it's a thing that I don't think it's healthy for the game, and I'm glad that, especially with the 110s, I don't think the 110s are perfect, or I don't think the 110s are gonna save skilling in RuneScape 3. Not by a long shot, right? RuneScape 3 needs way more when it comes to skilling, but I do think that they at least are pushing more this idea and this culture, and slowly introducing this culture that it's actually rewarding to do the skills for the skills themselves and for the rewards the skills have, rather than get a level, unlock everything in the game, and then just go do PVM, which is like the only thing that the game has to offer you. You know, I think that now, with that at least, the reward space for skilling and the impact and the importance that skilling has in the game is increasing, and it's actually becoming better, which is why I think that, look, I don't think double XP weekend is ever going to go away. I don't think that, I mean, it's no longer a weekend, but, you know, it's 2 weeks. They made that way healthier in my opinion, but I don't think that's ever going to go away. But it definitely is a symptom it's basically a band-aid fix for a much larger issue and a much larger cultural issue in the game that I hope someday gets toned down to the point where people don't feel the need to log in specifically because it's double XP weekend, and can just sort of enjoy double XP weekend whenever it comes around, rather than having to like, I need to log in order to enjoy this because otherwise I'm gonna like miss out or whatever. Because I never really enjoyed that culture in RuneScape 3 of, I need to log in not because I want to have fun, but because otherwise I'm missing out on rewards. Because that's very like mobile game-esque, and I really dislike that culture because I don't think it leads to an healthy playstyle, and I don't think it leads to good content. I don't think that good content comes from that. I don't think good content is developed from that. So I just enjoy playing the game in general. Very few times I actually enjoy double XP weekend. Most of the time I just trade the XP for tokens so I can buy cosmetics in the store. That's literally what I do, which, by the way, another thing, first of all, kind of a shame you cannot get double XP tokens without the timer being active. Another shame, the tokens are so slow to earn, honestly. Like, you actually just get, what, maybe 200 every half an hour or something? It's really bad, you know, you get like 200, sure, but it's super slow. Like, you need to essentially play for like 5 hours or something to get the same amount of tokens that you get by just sacrificing 1 hour of double XP weekend. And that's another thing that I wish we could actually do. I wish I could just literally sacrifice the entirety of my double XP for double XP tokens, because I just want the cosmetics. That's all I want from this event. Like, I don't care about double XP. Particularly is not a thing that I necessarily enjoy, but you have a limit of, you can only trade 1 hour per day, which to me is not very useful. I wish that it was made more useful in that regard. So unfortunately, it's a bit of a shame that that's there. Now, I know that usually using protein items and using the little dummies actually give you way more double XP tokens rather than just playing the game with double XP active. But again, I think that's bad because the dummies and protein items, as I've mentioned in a video a while ago, I think they're just symptoms for a much bigger issue. The issue of get the XP because the skills suck, the skills are not rewarding, the skills don't have fun activities. Rather than, the skills having fun activities, and as a result, you don't need XP rates because it's just fun to engage with the skill, right? Like in old school, for example, runecrafting isn't the most fun skill in the world, but you have Guardians of the Rift, which is a fun way to engage with the skill. You have AFK with zero runecrafting, right? So you have plenty of different ways of enjoying the skill, you have plenty of different rewards, and as a result, people don't really care that the skill isn't all that fast to do because it's just fun, it's rewarding to do the skill. And I think in RuneScape 3 that is missing because so much of the focus was on getting XP and getting to that level and then just forgetting that a skill exists, right? Skilling in RuneScape 3 really does not have a lot of staying power and whatnot. But yeah, I've already talked about that in the video, so I'm not gonna extend myself too much here. It's just a shame, I really wish you could just earn tokens and stuff like that by just playing the game. If it's an event that is active, it should be active for the 2 weeks and that's it. And I wish I could just trade my 48 hours, all of them, for tokens, because I just want the cosmetic rewards. I don't give a fuck about anything else, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, even if they took away the, lamps or whatever, or stars or whatever from the shop, I wouldn't care. I just want the fucking cosmetic rewards, that's it. Right, but that's it for RuneScape 3. As far as old school RuneScape goes, this week we had a small update to construction. You had a couple of changes to the trophy showcase, where, better interface, you can showcase all of the trophies, you don't lose the trophies that you mount, which is also really cool. You have 2 new house styles, you have some refreshed animations and whatnot, but all of these are mostly just cosmetics, right? And it does show that even in old school RuneScape, cosmetics are incredibly important, right? Cosmetics are a reward incentive that people actually do enjoy quite a bit. It's a reward incentive that almost no one ever talks about. Usually people talk about weapons being OP, or weapons being, useful for the game or whatever, or, like their house being useful for the gameplay or whatever. No one really talks about cosmetics, but cosmetics are important for everyone to a certain extent, right? People will always like to look like a shad rather than looking like a fucking broke person, that's why the twisted bow is so cool. That's why people use the twisted bow, or at least like equip it when they're in the Grand Exchange, because it's like, sure, it's a sign of wealth, but it's also a sign of, hey, look at how fucking cool I am because I have this cool weapon. So honestly, I just want to say, even for old school RuneScape, I think cosmetics are incredibly important. I think that the HD entire thing also has shown that people do care about how their game looks and whatnot. So this is not exclusive to RuneScape 3, and I really hope they keep doing updates like this, and I really hope that RuneScape 3 also learns from this, because I think that so much cosmetics in RuneScape 3 are specifically how your character looks and are overrides, when in reality, sometimes I just want to change how my house looks, sometimes I just want to have a fucking banner or whatever with like some funny image or something, right? Like, cosmetics aren't just your character and how you look, it's also the game around you and things that you also own, right? For example, in RuneScape 3 you own the fort, right? The fort is kind of like your player hub for skill, or for skilling. I wish you could just actually give it other styles, like a Tsar style maybe, or a Canifis style. That would be cool, but again, I think that cosmetics in RuneScape 3 are super limited if they're not about your character. Like, when it comes to your character, cosmetics in RuneScape 3 are just a fuck ton of them, but outside of your character, they barely exist, and that's the cool thing about old school, is that they keep improving on your POH, they keep giving you cosmetic options for a bunch of things, purely because, hey, it's fun. Even if it's niche, even if a lot of people aren't gonna use it or whatever, it's cool that the game does give you these options and does give you a lot of these little things for you to play with. So I really hope that they keep doing that. I really hope that we keep seeing these types of updates. And that's the thing, like, this technically was a major update in old school, but if this had come out in RuneScape 3, this would just been like a fucking like footnote on the update, and people wouldn't even consider it content, and this goes to link into what I talked about like 2 weeks ago about how RuneScape 3 sort of perceives updates and perceives content updates versus how old school does them. This is pretty much a major update in old school RuneScape, like in terms of like patch notes. You have like this, oh, look at how cool this new house thing is, even if it is pretty fucking niche, right? In RuneScape 3, like, the devs would be like, nah, because players are gonna call us lazy and this is not good content or whatever, like, it's definitely different at how pretty much people actually deal with updates in both games. But yeah, I really hope old school keeps doing it, and I really hope that RuneScape 3 actually learns from this and actually gives you way more options to that thing. So yeah, hey, hopefully at RoonFest we'll see like some POH related things for RuneScape 3, that would be cool. I would definitely enjoy that, because POH in RuneScape 3 definitely does fucking need like any help that I can get, because goddamn, for like the main thing for a skill and the main thing that was used to train a skill, it's lacking quite a bit, let's just say that like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me this week. Next week's Ramble is going to be all about RuneFest. I'm going to go over RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape, pretty much announcements that they're going to make, and before that, because I really hope that this is a thing, this Wednesday I really hope that I can get the Dungeoneering video out. I'm gonna try, I can't promise anything, but it's looking really good. So yeah, I'll see you then.